definitely want to make up for that first day. Whereas Winterfox, with all these subs, every one of them is super hyped up to be here now. They won their first game. So now they're actually kind of excited, and they want to make that 2-0.
Yeah, well, they definitely have the chance with the amount of power they have shown yesterday. Zed and Silver being banned out, the Rek'Sai and the Gnar as well. We'll not see that Gnar this game. It's just too powerful. It's been in too many recent games and really controls quite a bit, especially if you combine it with the Jarvan that we've been seeing. One more ban here now to the side of Winterfox after Annie gets taken away.
Yep, they don't want to see any of that bottom lane coming up and ganking for mid again. Pobelter getting out of control. So they ban out both Sivir and Annie. They've left up a lot of stuff here, though. Janna in particular. There's also some strong top laners left with Lissandra Rumble.
Yeah.
A lot of options, a lot of directions that Winterfox could go in. Remember, yesterday, Flaresz was one of the guys who actually whipped out Renekton. A couple people using him recently did get a couple of those extra buffs to try and generate more rage when attacking champions.
He made it a more fun lane for watching Renekton, that's for sure.
He definitely did.
Insert BM here.
You gotta wonder, though, when facing that first pick Janna, you're just like, that's so much disengage right off the bat. ShorterAce is always happy to be here.
Oh, he's smiling.
You know, these guys, by the way, these substitute players for Winterfox, this is the stage for them to really showcase their skills and get picked up for challenger teams or even LCS teams.
That's so true. You're in the limelight right now. Make it count. ShorterAce has done so, and we're going to see some flashy plays from him this game. We'll see what he can do. We know Impaler also has a good Lee Sin, so that's a bit of a takeaway for him. And we're going to get the LeBlanc. You were just saying they have a Janna, and both of these guys on dive-in could get blown away if that Monsoon's timed correctly.
Yeah, it looks like a very similar strategy this time around for Winterfox. They want an aggressive jungler. ShorterAce, this used to be his most well-known champion, his favorite champion. Recently, he was even tweeting about how his Lee Sin mechanics have fallen a bit, and he was a little bit embarrassed. But he performed really well yesterday on Rengar, so I expect him to show up on Lee Sin as well. It is, of course, his favorite.
Very humble gentleman. Ready and raring to go. Now we're back on the side of Coast, and they waste no time picking in that Corki and that Irelia, something we've been seeing quite often to make sure they can go against the top lane they don't know yet. Irelia is pretty much safe pick.
Yeah, she's great all around.
Yeah.
It's also a double Trinity Force pickup for these guys. So Team Coast, they're looking at a really strong power point when they hit double Trinity Force itemization with both of those champions. Back over to Winterfox. What do they want to supplement the pick power of LeBlanc? Pobelter plays a mean roaming LeBlanc. Not only does Pobelter try and control his lane opponent, but as soon as he gains that control, he starts roaming across the map, and he's going to gank, bottom lane. Probably look to secure control down there.
You still have Ahri up right now as well for Jesiz to get thrown in.
So, Nami Tristana has been a really popular duo, especially in LPL, in the Chinese leagues. And it's a really strong duo because Nami really does help Tristana
get through that phase.
Get through the power trough. And Tristana's still a beast in the late game. Nami also
got a win with it there.
Interesting. So a little bit more long-range poke. With the Corki locked in as your AD carry, if you get a mid laner like Xerath, your mid-game siege is ridiculous. So basically what they can do is siege up with Corki and Xerath poking the whole time, and if Winterfox go in for something, then they have Janna for disengage. So it looks like a pretty strong mid-game push here for Coast. They could knock down quite a few turrets if they line up. Plus locking in Jarvan does give them that early game pressure to try and get them to those Trinity Force combines.
Yeah.
So Tristana, this time around, when facing so much poke like that, we might even see her going for an early static Shiv. We've seen it a lot before. Sometimes people will get a BF sword or a pickaxe, depending on how much money they have, and then make the Shiv. We'll see what Altec decides to go this time around. Renekton, once again, though, for Flaresz, is one of the old bruisers that could beat up on Irelia and really punish her early. But, with the popularity of Teleport and with an early game like Jarvan, see if he can actually make it happen this time around.
It's going to be kind of difficult for Winterfox to get in on Coast in any of these compositions.
Yeah, that's the benefits of locking in first pick Janna.
Well, they still decide to go with all the gap closures that they can to try to make this fight work. We will see Pobelter versus Jesiz in the mid lane. Jesiz misses any of those skills, and Pobelter will be all over him for the harass and punishment, so that could be pretty tough there. We may see Impaler trying to spend some time in that mid lane.
We may indeed. And if yesterday is any indication, then all members of Winterfox will probably be spending some time in that mid lane.
That would be true. One gank after the next. We see the coaches now being escorted off stage as they have given their final words to the teams. And some of those, as we talked to the coaches yesterday, have to do with, you know, actually all throughout the game, what you should do in mid, what we're trying to do early and late. Sometimes they say, it's in your hands now.
Yeah,
and it's up to you.
They get a look at the enemy team comp, give them a little bit of advice on how to play that opening.
And remember to keep spamming your votes on Twitter by sending hashtag CSTWin or hashtag WFXWin. We'll update the poll throughout the game. And we are just about to get into that. Everybody's ready and raring to go for game number 2. Yeah, we're already into it here on day 2. A very fast sub-25-minute game coming in from Team Impulse over Dignitas to take a victory on game 1 of the day. Sorry for the spoilers, but thanks for watching. We're in game 2.
All right, so Cris definitely starting out with some extra armor as Renekton can easily beat up Irelia early. That does mean that he will be lacking for mana early on because Irelia very used to starting her Crystalline Flask, but does need the extra armor. So he will have to be a bit more conservative with his spells early on. And Flaresz is going to try and push that. Control that top lane, and if ShorterAce goes up there as well, they can win the 2 versus 2. A lot of battles here for deep jungle vision in the level 1 though.
Let's see if Impaler tries to go for any level 2 gank we saw from Rush on Jarvan last time. He might not have that ability since we're starting on a different side. We'll see what they decide to do. 2 perfect wards placed. Impaler is going to be known to be on top side.
Yeah, the big thing that they're really looking for is where the duo lane's going. Tristana snuck all the way into the bottom lane and placed this ward by the double golems. So whichever side Impaler starts out with or whichever side the duo starts out with, they will be alerted, and they can actually know if they can come stop a Gromp start or if they can stop a Krugs start. Looks like there will be no Krugs start here for Coast. And Winterfox saw them walk past it so that they know they are safe to start this Gromp. It looks like they're actually going to lease for ShorterAce. In a rare occurrence in competitive play, they are not going to take a camp themselves and helping out the jungler. This should mean that they expect something from ShorterAce within the first 3.5 minutes. Lee Sin is very capable of going 1 camp into double buffs for a gank with a pull. Let us see, though. Taking quite a bit of hits.
He's just a nice guy. They wanted to help him out, but no, he probably will be trying to go through something. After this, he's going to take a few hits. He's obviously trying to micro back and forth to dodge out on as many hits as he can, even if it be only a few.
Yeah. One of the things that I was actually quite sad about in the recent patch notes for junglers is the reduction in soft leashes from 10 to 5. Now, not a
kick us.
I'm really, yeah, well, not a lot of people took advantage of it, but you can take advantage of that even on melee champions. It's not just for ranged champions. Kiting them back to the edge of their soft leash range, you could get jungle monsters to cancel auto attacks. Now it's really dangerous to do that though, because if you do it 5 times, then it heals fully. So even some melee champions take a little bit more damage on their first jungle clears nowadays. Lee Sin, though.
And how helpful is that? Do you find yourself being able to take a different camp or actually take a camp and then go into lane more than you would before?
Basically, what I used to be able to do with the 10 soft leashes, you can go double buffs and still be at full life after double buffs if you kite it back to the edge of the range and get it to cancel auto attacks.
Not so much.
Not so much. You can still pull it off pretty close now. ShorterAce, though, as you can see, he will not have enough health. He also did the Raptor camp, so he's doing that extra clear. That extra camp that he does means that he will be able to get some wards on his first back.
We see that as well from Impaler, pink ward. Coming out as well with the potion. Just stay healthy in the lane. So we have pretty much even all around the map. A little bit of harass towards Jesiz in the mid lane, but we would expect that from Pobelter on the LeBlanc. 16 or 21 to 14 there as he's still cleaning up some minions. Pings down towards the bottom lane. I think they're just saying, let's stay safe. We don't really know what the vision is up there.
It's pretty hard to gank that Tristana lane, especially with how far back in the lane they were right now. Very easy for that combo to play safe. And really, that's all they're looking to do right now is lane, get as much CS as possible, and Altec up to the point where he can actually fight.
Looking at Cris here on Irelia today. 303 on Gnar yesterday. One of the guys that did not perish in the first day of the LCS. There's actually quite a bit, to be honest. I think there were like seven people that did not die yesterday.
7 people have still not died in
Yeah.
the North American LCS so far. Because none of those people were on on TIP or Big. That's
True. Logic. Gold, it's not too big of a discrepancy, rather. Just a few of these minions and camps that ShorterAce has picked up. A little bit of pressure towards mid lane. That chain missing. Impaler's in a perfect spot. He actually connects the resonating strike to dodge out on the flag and drag. This is just going to be some extra added damage. Might slow down his jungle, but it won't take him out.
Yeah, ShorterAce very happy. He got the second activation off in time. Pobelter, though, just by himself, was putting a lot of pressure on Jesiz. After the first back, going to pick up some defensive wards. Both sides of that river are warded for mid lane for Coast already. Pobelter going to choose one side and hug it. Impaler is going to proc his Raptor thing, just walk right back into a counter game.
Oh, ShorterAce. No mana on Nash. This could be a great turnaround. All the focus is going on to Gleeb, and he's going to be able to kite it out. What a perfect read by ShorterAce to stay towards the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, that was just a perfect counter gank. Got into the bush just in time, and then both of the laners played that perfectly as well.
Yeah.
Altec started moving up, and sometimes Altec moving up into a gank might tip off Coast that there's somebody in the bush, but they already committed to it. So they're like, oh, you know what? We've got position. We're going to keep going for it. Gleeb really is the one who turned that because he made sure that Jarvan committed in with the EQ, then landed his bubble right after. And it was the very close bubble to Nami. So good job by Gleeb, securing the kill, even at the cost of some extra HP. Make sure he lands the bubble. And first blood, Winterfox in that bottom lane to Tristana, the exact champion that Coast do not want to start getting ahead early.
Whenever we saw Altec getting going on EG, there was pretty much no stopping him. So an early game Triss getting going, it's going to be even rougher for them.
Yeah, not only is this Triss the champion that they want to scale up into late game, but she's also the champion that's going to provide a lot of their wave clear with explosive shot. Yeah. More levels into explosive shot. Very, very good news for Winterfox.
And again, no way. He's got a tracking beacon right now on Impaler. Whoa, Flaresz! Whoa, what? No!
Well, not so much a tracking beacon.
They still went. No, I guess
more like both junglers had the exact same idea. I mean, usually when you have a top laner shoving up, top laner shoving up like that, and your jungler comes up into the side bush, you think that he's there just for a counter gank. But that dive was very, very poor. They committed to it, though. 100% commitment from Winterfox, and they both died for their efforts. This time, Impaler is the one able to come in just after the action starts. And so far, it's actually been whoever gets there after is the one who benefits.
Just goes to show you how fast it can swing for a jungler. Swinging 2 kills there. Already fixed up on the Warrior Enchant as well for his jungle item. So Impaler just got a big amount of damage, and they're already trying to control a little bit more than they had before. Now getting forward wards into the jungle. Winterfox, we're going to see pretty much the first time they have to react now and play adaptively to what Coast is going to bring to the table. Let's see if Coast now can hold the lead.
Let's see if they can. Now that Irelia's got 2 assists off that, that's too bad she didn't get any of the kills.
Right.
But they're definitely going to be much more wary of diving her. Irelia is already, because of her kit, one of the best champions at defending against dives because of that stun and her ability to dash around the minions. Now, Flaresz,
Slice.
No flash.
That's it. Slice can't dice. Oh, he still had dice time, and they almost gave him his escape. Nice play, though. They knew they had the damage in the gap close.
Yeah, so one of the things you'll see from really experienced Renekton players is they use their slice when their lane opponent is right next to them.
Right.
So you're barely scratching the champion model. They don't actually have to be on the other side of you, but he does get the dice charge off of it and saves it for the Cataclysm gank. Meanwhile, his team tries to get the dragon in exchange for his life.
Oh, right of the arcane! Right to the face of ShorterAce. 4-1 now. 9.5 minutes. Dragon does go over to them, so he was able to do some work before he went down.
Not only did they kill him, but during that entire time, Impaler, well aware that they were going for that dragon after his top lane gank, so easily moves down to the closest objective to him, the red buff.
Ooh, ooh! Altec is just eating every shot.
Level 6
he
Corki.
can Valkyrie forward safely right now. The only thing he has to worry about is a bubble. And that's going to be a jumping out Altec.
This is
probably still going to got zeroed, but great play by Mash.
This is the point where Corki really dominates. Hit that level 6, so much poke with his ultimate. But Altec, because of the early start, he did go for the BF sword first instead of just having to grab pickaxe. So he does have a decent amount of flat AD. BF sword probably going to go into Shiv right after. We'll see how long he sits on this Avarice Blade, how greedy he actually is.
Raked in 4 extra gold. That's a lot, almost to a potion. Now he's back to lane. He'll be able to clear this wave pretty easily with that BF sword. Now misses one on it, but not a problem. 77 to 87 in that lane. This is where he's going to close that gap, as now we have the other side backing Mash. Sheep doing a lot better this time in that bottom lane than they fared yesterday, so they're going to be able to provide the power in lane towards this mid game. Dragon just going down, so that won't be an objective for too long.
They're actually really doing a lot to set Cris up for success, too. Not only did they just go up there for another gank. Ooh. Cris knows that ShorterAce is waiting there, and they're trying to bait him because they've got double wards. But yeah, not only did they spend time sending another gank up top, but they also had 2 pink wards in this side of the river, plus the extra greens that we just saw save his life. So a lot of attention being paid top lane for Coast right now. Looks like they really want to play off the back of this Irelia, who's getting quite fed, and will be able to get her Trinity Force fairly soon. Taylor back up here as well.
Flaresz playing this one quite smart, actually, making sure he's got his bar topped off so he can get some health back and actually do a little bit more damage.
Yeah, doing a good job playing safer now. He knows he is the target.
Oh, they are going to go. He throws on Dominus, but it's not going to be enough. Taking about 3 shots there. Cris able to get the upper hand with Impaler once again. And these guys are really bringing the ganks now to the top lane. Flaresz is having trouble, so he can't provide any of that tank game later, any of that menacing Renekton. They're really cutting him down. Also, good showing from Pobelter here.
Yep, Flaresz, having to try and go full tank this time around. Not able to go for the Tiamat path because he got so far behind with that ill-fated dive up top. Cris is going to be a monster, though. Costa really trying to play off of the Trinity Force spike. In the mid-game, she's amazing at snowballing once she gets that item. Can easily take out one of these squishier targets on Winterfox. So it's going to be up to Winterfox to try and control vision and get Pobelter to the point where he can pick somebody. Morellonomicon already completed, and he's already looking for the picks. Pulling some sneaky jukes into the back line.
Oh,
here.
Did he? I think he noticed. He noticed they were moving.
He saw the moving Krug.
Yeah.
Or actually, he's just...
Wow, they almost played that right onto him. That's the second one. He mimicked Distortion. That's all he's got. He does have a flash. He's going to have to use it. He already got the Summoner heal from Altec. That's the Tsunami coming out. A nice bubble is going to stop up Cris. Oh, he dashes the flash. Tries to get the kill. Pobelter answers back with the Ethereal Chain. And Mashme can't hit the big one on that. It's going to be disengaged.
All right, so Winterfox need to make a really quick call to have Flaresz shove because their top laner is down bottom. Use the teleport. They need to work around where Cris is. Cris is the biggest point of power for Coast right now. So wherever Cris is on the map, Winterfox need to make a play elsewhere. So shove top lane as hard as you can. Try and get some damage on that turret. Make him lose out on some sort of minion advantage.
Make him pay.
Flaresz is trying to do it, but as we said, he went full tank, so can't take it very quickly. Definitely doing his best, though. That's the thing in League. You don't always want to try and defend where your opponent is attacking. especially if they have the advantage on you.
Right.
You need to move somewhere else on the map and just try and trade with them while you are weaker. As we just learned from the Dignitas game.
True stories. Minute and 15 on to Dragon. You can see that Winterfox is setting up the wards for this. Gleeb will not be able to fully clear out the ward. Impaler's going to have his way with the vision.
Pink on mid.
Oh. Yeah. That's ShorterAce not really being able to participate in Dragon too well now. Very nicely done by Jesiz to catch that. Just waltzing across mid lane. You got to respect your position in the game, especially when there's a Xerath taking advantage of that little misplay.
Yeah, Jesiz doing all that he needs to, farming up in the mid lane. Chunking down the junglers is actually quite large for them. Sending ShorterAce back to base when almost all his camps are up. Definitely going to take away some of the income here for Winterfox and allow Cris the freedom to ward up for himself. So not only the rest of the team spend a lot of time top, but now they've bought him time to ensure that the red side jungle will be an early warning system for them.
You saw that ward there as you're talking about. Both teams kind of the same idea. Coast wants to get the deep ones in. Winterfox knows that Coast is at that aggressive point. Well, they will get him in. So the pink wards are actually very defensive right now from Winterfox. Moving up, they're going to be able to get some good clears here. A lot of pink ward coverage over Dragon, so they spent a lot of money invested in this area. Hopefully they can get the Dragon for themselves. That'll be number 2 coming up on 15.5 minutes in the game.
Yeah, and look at how Jarvan has actually matched the Sightstone of Lee Sin and Impaler this time around. Not only has he started matching ShorterAce's movements, and actually he was the one who got to pull off counter ganks after the first one went awry, but he's also matching that vision.
He has to throw down Dominus, so that means he's going to stay for the fight. Cris should be able to heal up through this once Transcend comes up. Flaresz making sure he gets his bar back as well. From that Dominus being on, it will charge up every so often, and now the fight's going down towards Dragon. Teleports are up for Flaresz. He's going to almost win the fight, so he may be able to come down and help on this one, but the team is backing off. Coast is able to get the advantage here, and they're going to be able to take Dragon number 1.
Yeah, Pobelter goes down, and I think it's going to be number 2 for them. Stack that. Oh no, Tristana was the one with the first one. So one Dragon each here for these teams. Looks like Team Coast here. Things definitely going to go their way once again. Cris did escape that duel up top as well. So once again, it's Jesiz actually chunking out the jungler to start it off. Ooh. Gets his flash as well, and then it made Pobelter commit with a W actually. So then there's nowhere for him to go, and he gets caught as well.
Wow, what a scattered fight. Coast all over that one. That's done.
Really got to give a lot of props to Jesiz here in the mid lane, creating a lot of pressure for the team. Now he wasn't
kind of the man on the wing. We're not seeing, but you're seeing the effect he's putting on the game.
Putting a lot of making Winterfox use a lot of resources.
Yeah. Not
grabbing the killing blows at the beginning, but he did force the issue.
So Pobelter not getting as much help in mid as he did last game. They figured that one's just going to be Jesiz playing it safe in the back of his lane, as he did. 145 to 150, but he's won at 0-1. So he's got some money to spend right now.
And remember what we said in Champion Select here. The double Trinity Force timing for Coast is really strong. They can then group up and shove, use this poke that they have to beat down Winterfox. Winterfox with fairly squishy guys. They still have an opportunity to try and pick somebody off, though, because Coast have not grouped up yet. Not going for the poke quite yet. Double Trinity Force have been completed, though. That may be the signal.
Right. That just came out for Cris, so they may start to initiate what they were looking for coming into this game. Start to ball up and figure out where they can get these poke hits onto Winterfox. They themselves still focusing down towards his bottom lane. It's like they want to keep Altec protected, which is a good idea. You get that late game Trist. Going to be able to carry a little bit of a rotation from Pobelter, but it looks like he only went halfway down. Now he's going aggressive on Jesiz in the mid lane. So a lot of action all around the map. Going to have to focus on his top lane right now for Cris. He's getting it pushed up, so we won't get help from him.
Nami wave down in the bottom lane, but ShorterAce is looking to take advantage of the tower bait. Not going to be surprised, though. Impaler joins the team for a easy cleanup of that bottom turret. seeing ShorterAce once again. Impaler has really, after the opening moments, he recovered really well, and he's just been all over this jungle. Definitely much ahead of ShorterAce.
ShorterAce stayed true to trying to make plays, and I think Impaler came into this game knowing he would have to make a few of his own. Trying to get Sheep taken out. They're going to give this one over to Mashmi, most likely. Let's see what they can get finished out into fights here. Jez is still pushing up into mid lane. We'll have Winterfox going to back. Maybe an Infinity Edge finally finished up here for Tristana, sitting on 1,600 gold, so that will be ShorterAce getting caught out. The Cataclysm goes down, but Sheep's the one to get it.
Janna comes up big. They try and jump on Sheep, and he's the one who actually gets the turn on ShorterAce. That is going to be an easy grouping for Coast, and should be an easy turret.
Finding a Janna roaming is not always the one you can kill. A lot of aggression just to save the turret, but they might lose their lives and the turret on this. The Buster Shot comes out for the quick reset. Altec says King Me, jumps back out on this one, and he will be able to start hitting some shots from the outside. Only a level 10 Tristana, however, not very long range on that draw of bead passive. Altec taking more shots as they clean up one more. Jesiz getting a snipe out that he was looking for, and that was even after Altec had used all summoners to stay alive. Fight's going in favor of Coast here as they break down towards the mid lane.
Whew. Not only do Coast have a lot of painful poke with this squad, but they got a pick right before that happened as well. So easy move that for them. Just gained a really big foothold in this game. That should be enough for them to set up some deeper vision as well.
This is kind of what we were talking about earlier, like the turret's going to go down, we could make a move now. No, don't.
Yeah, I mean,
Flaresz was so far away.
The thing we're talking about where people don't want to give up those turrets is kind of the same thing that con artists use to get a lot extra money out of their marks.
Oh.
Yeah, first they get you to commit a small amount of your resources, your time or your money,
which
to the scheme.
A few spells.
Yes, and so once you've committed a little bit, you're much more willing to commit a lot more money and a lot more time to save your initial investment. It's just natural human behavioral tendencies that they can prey on. And same thing exists in League of Legends. Once somebody's died, you know, ShorterAce is dead. Oh no, we don't want to give up our turret also. So they try and defend it. Pobelter goes in for some pokes. He gets knocked up. And
I always found that logic to be really
everything.
funny. It's like, we're one down. We've been losing the fights. That's 4v5. It happens.
Coast
just get headstrong.
Coast the con artist.
Hey, man, sometimes it wins. Sometimes you win the con. You come out big. 30 seconds on Dragon. The priority of Coast warding up in that area. It should be theirs. It would be difficult. Winterfox to get in position for this one. Not too difficult, but you're going to need more than half HP to make the fight happen here. Mashmi taking advantage of his poke once again. And that Triforce being finished now with a BF sword. Sword boots for him, so that poke hurts even more.
Pobelter still looking for some fights.
Yeah.
Impaler's quite beefy right now, though. He's finished the magic resist aura. Age is already done for Coast. Now when they group up, it is going to be ridiculously hard to crack in. So Winterfox, they really are looking for that pick. They want to split up this team. They want to try and split push. Try and keep the map spread out. But Coast, another dragon secured. And everybody's swinging down towards the bottom lane here to pick up the last outer. It's already dead. They're looking for a secondary.
Yep. It's going to be quite easy for them to take. I don't think it's going to be just Altec, or it will be just Altec. I don't think he's going to be able to stop this by himself. The wave coming up, they have Jesiz to poke anybody off as well, and you can see reacting now, a little too late. Everybody was already backing, now they're trying to get here. The fact that they will go in is still a possibility. This is Winterfox we're talking about. It looks like they will just hold off. Let the turret go down, they will not contest. And now we actually have Cris up in the top lane by himself with Flaresz walking down, so he can get back to stop this. But they could try to get a pincer fight they want here. Nope, it's going to be ShorterAce going back. I don't know. They're communicating, but not on the same page right now.
Uh-oh. Few lands.
Trying to get a fight for themselves. Coast actually walked back into this one. I don't think it's exactly what they wanted. Now they have a nice kite back. It's now on their terms. A little messy there for a second. Mashmi picks up the kill. Cris finally comes down from the top lane here. Remember, no teleports have been used. Flaresz is down, so he can't approach the fight again. And Altec is forced to rocket jump away. Nice little snipe there by Mash. Not finalized. Get killed though. Oh, gets himself out. He tries to back in the middle of the map, and he really is baiting the rest of Winterfox in for more kills. A double kill now for Cris, and Coast cleaned up the map. Pretty much playing a ring around the rosy with Winterfox.
Well, they took down Impaler. They can take Solas and the jungler's life at least. Winterfox, all shouting worth it at this point. 14-3, really, really steep comeback for them. Probably not in the cards. As we said, this Coast team is much, much stronger at sieging up, so they have a very clear path to end this game. And it doesn't take a lot more moves for them to actually execute that game plan. We do run into that point, though, especially on this new map, where it's a lot harder to crack into the base. You know, they've got base gates now, they've got stronger turrets. A lot harder to end the game really early. So we may see Coast playing a little bit safer, you know, just control the rest of the dragons for a bit until they really feel secure about taking down inhibitor turrets. This fight, though, players, you can only dodge so many skill shots, and then there's a Corki right next to him, so they get picked up. Altec gets stunned right before the jump, but able to get out anyway as Gleeb goes down instead.
A lot of inventories are hurting right now on Winterfox. You see items on items here. Eternity Force and Infinity Edge versus the Infinity Edge and a Static Shiv. It's still good damage, but you're going to get that burst out of Corki right now, and Altec is still trying to build himself up. The early game didn't continue for him in a consistent way. He got that first kill, which was going to be fantastic, and then it kind of slowed down. Gleeb also not able to make as many plays as he did on Annie, so we see that dynamic hurting Winterfox a little bit more. They don't have every champion being an all-in champion. They're kind of playing on the back foot, and they were the style they like.
Unable to feed extra money into Pobelter to get their #1 playmaker ahead. And now they are slowly crawling behind further and further to the team play from Coast. Led by Impaler, who's done a really strong job, by the way, I think, this game jungling.
A lot of people expected him to come out as a pretty big jungler expansion tournament. He showed really well.
He was a big part getting them into the LCS.
Things look grim. Impaler was there. He is right now 2-3-10. Lock it on him as well. The Iron Solari all finished up. The Aegis on Gleeb as he's trying to hit that mark as well. Zanya's for Jesiz, so he's pretty much safe from the dive if they actually try to go on him. It's going to be harder for Winterfox now to get these assassinations that they want or anything.
It does look like Coast do not have a game plan for ending, though. They're like, okay, we took all the turrets outside of the inhibitor line, and now they're all kind of split up, farming different spots. Here we go. Cris down to the bottom to use the teleport. They clear out the Baron, try and set up a Baron bait. They're in perfect position to pick. So all they have to do is wait now. They can play really calmly, pick somebody off, or just wait for Cris to gain some ground. Looks like they are going to give up on the pick, but it really didn't cost them anything because Cris is now in position, and if they go spend more people towards Cris, then Coast can take the Baron.
That's not good, Kobe. You see Flaresz down to half health, and Cris didn't even really take a bit. He was tickled by Flaresz' damage. So this is going to be tough. Flaresz now has to fend for himself while also saying, guys, I need help. We're going to lose an inhibitor versus that 4v4 fight. So not looking good for Winterfox.
Cris is massive right now. He's got 6 more kills to his name.
Right on to Gleeb. That's going to be the disengage tsunami already going out, so it means they can get into where they need the flash. Will he Zanya's? He doesn't get a chance to Zanya's on this one. They obliterate Jesiz. He's out for 40 seconds. This is how big Cris is, but blown back over the wall. Altec gets 1 more second to breathe on this one. Flaresz trying to provide him with the Iron Lung, giving them body block. Altec now to turn around, kite the fight. Mashme's doing damage, but it's the ShorterAce, and the little tank that he has kept him alive for the time being. Coast still comes up after a very chaotic fight on top.
All right. Now, do they actually have the confidence to go for this? Cris did take quite a few hits in that fight. Double pink wards, though. Looks like they do have the confidence. This could be a turnaround. They're fairly low. I don't know how much burst Winterfox can actually pull out, though. Flaresz is at full life.
Dominus is halfway through its cooldown, so he's going in with just regular abilities. Altec knows he's going to be too close and has to jump out. He gets the speed up from Gleeb passive. Baron is going to be down to at least 600 HP. That's going to Impaler. Almost no chance for the 50-50 steal without another smite. And that means they are going to be making their way back to the base safely with Baron. Now it becomes even a greater push for Cris by himself in the side lanes. It's only getting harder here for Winterfox day 2.
I feel bad about saying this, but they gave Sheep as the sacrificial lamb to Baron in order to gain it.
I get that, Reverend.
I feel really bad about it. All right, Dragon traded here over for Winterfox, though. At least they get a consolation prize.
Let's see. What do we have? Is that 16? I believe it is 16. No, it's 6. Can't see it. The Magi's page made it look like 1. He only has 6.
Everything is right in the world. They just told me over comms. Freak is a giant smile on his face.
I was actually going to mention that. I was like, if you're disappointed, Freak's got to be happy, because that's how that works in his fun world.
Yeah, he's infected us all. All right, now that they have Baron, though, this has got to be really clear for Coast.
Yeah.
Shove right up the mid. End game coming here. Winterfox, this is your time to shine. Pobelter, he's going to have to pull off some crazy moves to pull this one out. But we'll see if he can pick somebody off, maybe in the back line. They're going to use the gate. Here we go. Showcase the gates for us, Winterfox. Showcase the massive comeback potential of a side gate. It's not really there. They can kill a ward. Nice.
Whoosh through the gate. He's back in. So they're actually putting themselves together here, not trying to go for the outside. I don't think it's because they fear a full 5v5 fight, but I think they can just take one fight and win the game, maybe.
Really, yeah. Cris and the rest of Coast, all they have to do, even if they just kill a couple people, they could probably end the game off it. So Winterfox, they're really careful right now. They're going to have to try and use some sneaky tactics, try and hit them hard and then back out. When fighting against a Baron team nowadays, you try and poke them because they don't have the regeneration.
Whoa! Okay. That was actually pretty sweet. Both of them flying in different directions.
Here it is.
2 kills coming in for Altec. Can he get the reset one more time? Pobelter's going to dodge out on the stun from Jesiz. They got to be careful. They know that Cris could be flanking from the side here, but that
ShorterAce
look promising. It's not. They're not out of the woods yet, but that was good.
No, they are not. But they did just save their base. So this is one of the reasons why a lot of teams have been taking their time trying to crack into the inhibitor turret line. It's fairly dangerous to go up there. But man, that was actually poorly played by Team Coast. Cris, the super fed member of their team, the front line, the guy right in the trenches, not there. So ShorterAce, great job taking advantage of it. Not only do they pick off the support first, kill Janna is key, but then they take down the supportless AD carry. So who started it off?
Look at this. He kicks her so hard.
Pobelter goes in first. Pobelter goes in first for the juke, and ShorterAce goes in right behind him. Yeah. What a beautiful combo between Pobelter and ShorterAce with the 2-man tricks right there. And they take down the bottom lane, buy themselves some time.
We haven't really seen like a Dive Buddies Bash Brothers composition. People aren't used to instantly targeting the one person that's flying in. So when you have 2 of them, it's chaos.
And LeBlanc is not usually one of the quote-unquote Bash Brothers.
I would say one of my favorite things I ever did, completely off topic, was ARAM, Ori, LeBlanc, and you port the ball in, and then you just port out. Fantastic.
Shockwave.
Nothing you'll ever see in a pro game, because one of those 2 combined, but it would be pretty damn sweet to see. We're up at 32.5 minutes on this one, 17-6. A bloodbath here for Coast in this game, and just about a 10,000 gold. Yeah,
the thing is, that last play is probably weighing heavily on Coast.
Yeah.
Remember yesterday, they also had an early lead. They had a gold lead when the game ended and they lost. Here we go, though. They've got to catch on
baby.
Gleeb.
That's sushi for dinner. Gleeb goes down. That's a quick kill coming in for Mash. That wasn't even half a second they needed to take him down, and they got the exhaust out. So near 35 seconds on the clock for these kills. May not be enough for game-ending pushes. They're going to be able to tear this base apart.
Look at this. They really want to dive. No tidal wave available means there's almost no protection for Winterfox against this. Brute force pushing right in.
Yeah. Easy peasy as they make their way past the first inhibitor turret. Eyes on the inhibitor. This should be a back out here. You see the wards going down so they know what their exits can be and what options they have. Jesiz just wants the last say. Last laugh for himself. Bottom could be cleared and pushed. Such control here. Yeah, they're taking a little bit of time, but they're finally pushing on it now. A little longer, and Altec could actually get quite big here. He's finally finished up that last whisper.
Hey man, they've shown some really nice plays, Winterfox.
Yeah,
trying to come back here. They definitely have a long and arduous journey ahead of them, though.
2-2 on Dragons. 1 minute and 20 left on that. Just about the same amount of time on Baron. Well, I don't even know if we'll actually see that happen. That's really an option for WFX. Winterfox to get back in this one if Coast were to mess it up. Don't want to leave those up to chance. Winterfox with 2 pink wards already on that Baron area so they can start, or rather, I should say Coast does, with control of the map.
And the thing is, Winterfox, they actually don't have to worry about the super early 5 dragons, because they do have 2 dragons themselves. Coast are only sitting on 2, so they don't really... Uh-oh. The whole team is right behind Chris, so it takes a long time to kill Chris, because he's so fed, and then by that time, the whole team of Coast will be there, so it would have actually turned out fairly poorly for Winterfox if they tried to take down that tanky Irelia first. So, good thing for Winterfox. They did not pull it there, and they wanted to wait to try and defend at their base once again. This is going to be much harder a defense than last time. Not only because their inhibitor is down, but also because Sheep is going to be expecting it this time. If ShorterAce is able to pull that off twice, then Coast will have nobody to blame but themselves.
LeBlanc over the wall. Oh, he found one! Who's gonna get kicked? Stunned way too quick. Jesiz knew it. Knew they could get in. Maybe if they waited for a wave that he could sit in, but when he was the only one, it was a dead one. They are gonna be backing out of this. It actually thought Coast was gonna go harder on that, but they are being very methodical about this. They're not letting themselves get caught out in these hard-fought situations. This is gonna be another turret because of that patience being a virtue. And they are going to be able to get flares as well. One of the tanks going down does not spell good things when they're already inside your base.
All right, 2 inhibitors down. Complete control here for Coast. Baron is back up, so we'll see how cautious they are. This is a fairly risk-averse team after their first opening. So it looks like they are going to just take a trip back to base, clean up the neutral objectives, and use those super minions as the pressure while they clean up the rest of the map and the neutral objectives, and then return for the final blow.
Dragon Trace going over to Coast. Obviously no contest there. They pretty much own both halves of the court on this one. Let's see this one more time. He tried. Let's see where he gets hit. Did he get stunned on the way in?
Yeah, he was looking to make his way over towards the same target.
He got hit instantly by Cris.
But, you know, Jesiz and Cris can both stun him as he's jumping in.
Jesiz stacked that.
They were all expecting it this time around. So.
I thought at first Jesiz actually like just hit that and he jumped into it on accident. But it's Cris. Cris with the quick fingers. Playing a very nice Irelia top lane. Still yet to die in the North American LCS.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Cris deathless in the North American LCS 2015 season.
Must be that left-handed right configuration.
They got him. Good thing they spent so much time getting him the right mouse.
Oh, Gleeb takes about 50% of his HP through the middle of his bar there. That's going to be a dead Nami. Gleeb goes down first once again. He did use most of his spells to assist the team, but for not, they're still chasing down, and Coast looks like they could possibly end the game here. Flaresz was pushing in the bottom lane. They have vision of that, so Jesiz, the rest of the team, very happy to keep going. And they're right over the gate. Impaler's in the base.
Yeah. They've got the keys to that gate. They've got the password. Tank and double turn.
Keys to the city at this point.
All right, so congratulations to Team Coast.
Yeah.
They do make up for yesterday. Clean win. Fairly clean win. They had a couple hiccups.
Something they had to patch up. The whole team seemed to be a little discombobulated after that, and it's good to see that they, as we said before, could put it to the wayside. They didn't let it weigh on their mind. Flaresz is doing his damnedest right now to sneeze on the entire team.
They're taking
It looks like they're going to be able to hit it.
Die.
Wait a minute. That's going to be the Nexus. It's the Nexus. They're going to get it. They don't have enough power to stop them. That's going to be just about 38 minutes. Actually, 38 on the clock. Coast comes up with a win here on day 2.
They killed Cris at the very end, the last second.
I know. I tried not to look at it.
His death
An
was over.
turn of events. Cris does perish for the first time, but it was during a victory, so you got to take the good with the bad, Kobe.
Rest in pepperonis, my friend.
Rest in pepperonis, indeed. One hell of a game, though. Yesterday on Gnar, today on Irelia. Obviously, the champion pool we see to top lane, but We'll have to see what he has next if people are going to ban those two out against him. He's definitely a huge factor on Coast with the rest of the team. Jesiz also, we saw the right of the Arcane a lot of times from the Fog of War off the side of the map. We didn't see him much until the mid to end game, but he had such an impact on the control of the map, controlling the lane, and stopping Pobelter from really his normal and regular roam that controls an entire game.
Yeah, I really did like Jesiz play this game, and it's not the flashy play that you get from assassin mid laners. It's the play that you get from people who play a lot of Xerath, people who get that poke damage down, landing full combos on the jungler. You know, you chunk out a jungler and send him back to base enough times, he's going to be under-leveled, he's going to be starving for gold. And then they also were able to pick up objectives off of the couple of moves that he was able to make. Impaler as well, both those European imports performing really well. So good pickups, both of those guys for Team Coast. And the subs as well, shout out to ShorterAce and the rest of the guys that subbed in. Very fun time they've had in the North American LCS. Great game yesterday.
Played great, great mentality.